U.S. now advising American citizens not to travel to Kabul airport because of potential security threats.
Here's a summary of the article.
American citizens trying to leave Afghanistan were advised not to travel to Kabul's airport because of potential security threats on Saturday, as senior Taliban leaders arrived in the city to choose a new government. We are advising U.S. citizens to avoid traveling to the airport and to avoid airport gates at this time unless you receive individual instructions from a U.S. government representative to do so, the U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan said in a statement Saturday. Senior U.S. military officials told the Associated Press that the processing of passengers inside the airport had restarted on Saturday, but that there is a considerable backlog of people waiting to fly to Qatar. Senior Taliban leaders also arrived in Afghanistan's capital on Saturday to choose a new government, a commander with the militant group told NBC News. The Taliban's top political leader, Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, would likely to appoint people to form a new government over the next few days, the commander said, speaking anonymously because he was not allowed to comment officially. Baradar, who negotiated the religious movement's 2020 peace deal with the U.S., was expected to lead the government while the group's leader, Maulawi Hibatullah Akhundzada, would serve as head of state, the commander said. A leadership council, known as a shura, would make decisions based on Islamic law, he said, adding that they would like to include all ethnic groups in the new government. An intelligence report submitted to the United Nations on Friday said the group was going door-to-door and screening names at Kabul checkpoints as they hunt for people who worked with U.S.-led forces or the previous Afghan government.
This post received a score of 7,200, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
That was not something I knew.
Apparently ISIS is planning attacks on Americans. For the Taliban who haven't actually attacked foreigners, not yet anyways. Considering they just executed the IS leader as one of their first orders of business, an attack would not be surprising. Not to suggest the Taliban are doing good here. Plenty of people not getting through, I'm sure, and there are probably a lot of bribes to be paid to travel regardless of nationality now, but we haven't seen executions or hostages, but time will tell.
Journalists on the ground have reported Taliban attacking Americans approaching the airport.
The Taliban does not have a strong vertical hierarchy. Other than very broad objectives, I don't see how any specific commands can really be given like this. Sure, they are not going to fire RPGs at helicopters. But as far as street-level interactions with civilians, GL implementing detailed policy.
This is my understanding as well. It's a loose collection of tribes with some hierarchy of warlords that do whatever whoever pays them the most bidding. You could make a deal with some leader that won't necessarily be heard or honored by others. Very dangerous situation.
You also just described Afghanistan under US rule. The average Afghan farmer probably has very little interest in such marginal differences.
ITT people thinking this means don't travel from outside the country to here on vacation. It means if you are in country, don't travel to the airport to try and get out.
I'm sure people are foaming at the mouth to vacation anywhere in Afghanistan right now.
I already booked my tickets.
Me too, I was really looking forward to watching some stonings this summer.
Those are tourist traps. You've got to see the demolition of World Heritage sites.
Well then, how the fuck are they supposed to get there to get out?
They're using helicopters to get people to the airport.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
What a disaster.
Well, I already requested time off, so I'm going.
Didn't Biden say yesterday Americans are having no trouble getting into the airport? He wouldn't be blamed as much for mishandling it if he stopped putting his foot in his mouth.
He also said something like none of our allies have had any opposition to what the US did, while the UK Parliament had literally held him in contempt and condemned Biden.
Whose idea was it to evacuate the military before the 10,000-plus U.S. citizens still inside Afghanistan? The Taliban now has huge leverage with hostages.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.